The right hand that was earlier in the round, and you see Bernard a little showboating after he landed it.
I've given Bernard the last 3 rounds. What about you?
So have I.
Okay.
So have I.
So he's building up a lead here.
Yeah, I would think so. I think he's taking control of the fight after the 4th round. Not that he was ever not in control of the fight.
Let's go. Break.
Gary Rosado, the referee, done a good job. Some tough work on the inside.
Yeah, these guys, they're not an easy day for any referee.
Bernard going to the body.
And he really has found a home for that right uppercut. He has found that he can land it almost at will when Ornelas lets his left hand go. Take a look at the numbers there again. You know, just a steady tattoo by Hopkins. 16-8 punches landed, and also, you know, he's reduced Ornelas' connect percentage, which I said before, I didn't think it was all that important. When you see a guy's only landing 19% of his punches.
Bernard continues to land the right hand. He's gotten in a couple of uppercuts on the inside.
Right uppercut's been his punch tonight. It really has.
And they're taking a toll on Ornelas. He definitely slowed down the last couple of rounds.
Yeah. Just by looking at Ornelas' face, you could tell which hand from Bernard is doing the damage because it was swelling over his left eye.
Get the arm out. Break. Get the arm out. Step back. Watch your head.
Just to finish what I was saying about the punch percentage, when you reduce the guy to only landing 1 out of every 5 punches, that tells you that, you know, you're playing pretty good defense in there.
Let's check our online scoring. And our fans have Ornelas with the lead. That's a slip.
That's surprising. That is surprising.
Push him down. Let's keep it clean now.
All right, keep it clean, says Gary Rosado. As he pushed, Bernard Hopkins pushed Ornelas down.
Yeah, things are getting a little rough in there. Maybe the fans really want to see that Ornelas-Danny Green fight. I mean, you know what? If you give points for toughness and determination, certainly Ornelas deserves a couple of points for that. He's not giving up.
If this goes the distance, certainly you wonder about the judges. Will they be influenced by the presence of Bernard Hopkins, the reputation of Bernard Hopkins?
Bernard's town, Bernard's house, it's Bernard's night, Bernard's fight. I think it will be real hard to win a decision.
Good work, and a right hand lands by Hopkins.
All right, let's take a look at Hopkins here. You see that beautiful right hand that he snuck in. That punch has found a home on Ornelas' left cheekbone all night long.
I think if you're scoring with most effective punches, Bernard Hopkins has a huge edge.
No doubt. No doubt.
What do you have it through 8?
I've got, you know what, at this point, I've got Hopkins ahead by 4 points. I've given him every round 5 through 8. You know, to me, he's slowly taking control of the fight, as he usually does. You know, it's never anything spectacular. It's not something you go, wow, that's where the fight turned. He just slowly turns up the pressure on you. Before you know it, you're 5 rounds down, and you've got 3 rounds to go. And, you know, it's pretty much where we are now. 4 rounds to go.
I agree with you. I think he's won the last 4. He's been in control. He's been bouncing around. The thing I'm looking at, and there are still 4 rounds to go, is there's no way that I'm looking at Bernard Hopkins and saying this guy can't fight anymore.
Thank you. Not only can he still fight, he can fight at a high level for 12 rounds. I mean, right now, there's no way he's going to get tired unless Ornelas, you know, drastically turns up the pressure here. And I don't think he's able to do that. He's trying.
Ornelas got in a right hand. Follows up with a solid right by Hopkins.
I mean, think about the difference, all right? Let's just throw this out there. Think about the difference between Evander Holyfield, who's a tremendous physical specimen as well, fighting at a similar age as Bernard Hopkins. Think of the difference in Holyfield 10 years ago to now, and look at Hopkins. He looks like, you know, the fighter he was in the late 80s, early 90s.
Hopkins hasn't slowed down in this fight. He's kept up a good pace. He's been strong on the inside when they've exchanged. He took some big punches early.
You know, one of the knocks on Hopkins throughout his career is that he's not active enough. Doesn't, you know, just doesn't do enough. Just does enough to win. I don't think anybody's going to be saying that tonight. I think he's fought at a pretty good pace. Just
nice.
That left hook.
Doubled up with the left body and then upstairs.
Oh,
and he
just
lays the
caught
right
one.
hand.
Wow. Ornelas' best shot of the fight. Best shot of the fight. Let's see if those legs feel 45 years old now. You know, it's funny, when we were talking to Ornelas' guy, Howard Grant, his trainer, he said, I'm sure Bernard gets hurt. He's a human being, but he never shows it.
That's right.
And he didn't show it there either.
Ornelas coming in, but Hopkins lands the right hand.
You know, in boxing, it doesn't matter how you feel, Sam. It's what you show.
Let's go.
Final seconds of the 9th round.
Stop. No poking.
All right, Bernard Hopkins always been a guy who uses his head in the ring, and there you see a great example of it. Bang. What a shot.
Round 10, scheduled for 12. Hopkins leads with a left hook, bounces around, and scores with another left hook. Little showboating.
And he's feeling pretty comfortable in there, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Punch out. Let's go, get out of it. Punch out.
I'd love to know what the online scoring has now, but I just can't imagine how you could watch this fight and not think that Hopkins is pretty well ahead.
Ornelas has battled, and he has put pressure on, and Hopkins has answered.
And he certainly has had his moments. He also just as certainly has not had as many.
Either man has been down.
This is like a typical Bernard Hopkins performance. I mean, this just in from PunchStat. These are the average numbers through round 9. Hopkins landing 15 punches, throwing 40. Ornelas landing 9 punches, throwing 42. So it's a close fight by the numbers, but it's a little bit in the, you know, every round slightly in favor of Hopkins. Before you know, they add up. And here we are in round 10, and I got Hopkins ahead by 5 points.
That's a good card, Wally.
Thank you. It must be the same as yours. And here we see the online scoring, and now Hopkins starting to edge ahead. See?
Okay.
Which is what he does.
Show you the last 3 rounds.
Yeah. And that's clearly, you know, the way it's been going.
Sit back. Let him go.
Ornelas maybe starting to show a little weariness now, I think, for the first time in the fight. Still waiting for Hopkins to show a little.
I think he's pacing himself in this round. And I don't know if that's fatigue or just Ornelas trying to stay away from him.
Could be. He's like, what did I do?
Referee Gary Rosado with a big slap on the back to get Ornelas' attention.
I bet it did.
Good lead by Ornelas and the uppercut by Hopkins. He always has an answer.
Yeah, he doesn't let anything go unpunished. You know, he doesn't let you leave without your change.
Good flurry on the inside by Ornelas.
And, you know, Ornelas did a very good thing to get out of the corner there.
Hopkins got in the left hook, smiling as we head for the end of round 10.
Just for the bell.